Hello and welcome back to another episode of Power Rangers Lore. Today we're going to be talking about the legendary Gold Ranger, or the Zeo Gold Ranger, or the Gold Zeo Ranger, depending on how you call it. He's referred to all of those different Rangers at the beginning of this series. Now, by the beginning of the series, I mean the episode he shows up, which is the Power of Gold. So, we're going to talk about the two identities of this Ranger, because he has two, technically speaking. Though technically four, but we're going to talk about that as we go on. Now, Tray of Trifora, or Triforia. It's complicated, but basically he is an alien species and lord of the planet of Triforia. Now, he has three different personalities: courage, wisdom, and heart, which basically, when he becomes destabilized, he can shift into three different versions of himself. Ironically enough, they are not played. I don't know if you call them ironically, but I'm going to say ironically. They're not played by the same person, but by the three brothers, Tom, Tim, and Ted DiFilippo. Impressively, yeah. Now, that's the first time ever, instead of just copying the same person over again with their massive special effects of the 90s, instead they just had three higher triplets. Worked pretty well. So, who is the Gold Ranger besides Tray? Well, he shows up originally on the planet Earth in a giant floating pyramid known as Primerius. Yes, I probably messed it up, don't worry. It's not the only thing I'm going to mess up. So he first appeared fighting alongside against the Rangers, and they were really confused about who he was, and against Wolfbane. After the battle, the Zeo Rangers would debate whether or not to talk to him and see how, who he was and why was he helping them. But before they could, Wolfgang got big, and basically he summoned his giant pyramid, and the two fought, and after the battle, the Gold Ranger left, with no explanation. The Gold Ranger would appear later on, when Tommy and Kat are shrunk by Prince Sprocket, and he helps them out of the terrarium to escape, and then basically would return to battle the Tyrannobots. He would later turn on and inform the Rangers that Primerius and their Zords could fuse together and create a more powerful Zord. How he knew this, I don't really know, but he's very knowledgeable, apparently. He would then disappear again with no explanation, and going, well, thanks for that. Good job there. He would later continue to do this more times than not, and have to deal with a bounty hunter by the name of Varrox. Yes, Varrox. I believe that's how pronounced. And they two would battle. Varrox and King Mundo both want to get rid of the Gold Ranger because he's a nuisance and he knew too much. I'd be like going, get this guy out of here. So he pursued him relentlessly, and eventually he crash landed on the planet Aquartar. I'm really bad at pronouncing names, even though I've heard them. But yeah. But two of the alien Rangers would basically find him, retrieve his Zord, and be able to help him any further as he loses all control of his powers and essentially demorphs in front of the two. He reveals himself to be Tray, Lord of the Planet of Triforia, and he's very weak, and he needs Zordon's help. However, they cannot send him directly back to Zordon because King Mundo has placed a shield around the power chamber. And so as he was heading back, he actually kind of bounces off that and lands in the ocean, where he is saved by the Rangers, all of them, as they dive into the ocean and pull him out. Which he essentially just pulling up his rod out of the water, and instead of going who he is, he walks to the side and proceeds to turn into three different people, confusing the hell out of all of them, saying that he is the Tray of Courage, Wisdom, and Heart. They're all the same person, but they can't activate the powers anymore. He's unable to preserve his body's unity because of the attacks that have made upon him, and he has to temporarily transfer his Gold Zeo Power Rangers while he's able to restabilize. Why? We don't know. We didn't exactly explain why that was, but or how long that would take. Just I just need a new Ranger while I restabilize. I completely trust these other people that I've only met a few times, but hey, whatever. So, the Rangers go back to the power chamber, figure this out, and eventually somebody has an idea. It's none other than Tommy Oliver. He goes, I know somebody. and he's been wanting to get back since season 2. Yes, Tommy goes and finds a cloaked man with glasses and brings him back to the power chamber. But before he can, he is stopped several different times by the forces of evil. Now, why would they stop this person? That's a good question. Why would they stop this person? Well, because it's none other than Jason. Yes, Jason is back in action. Now, they're able to fight him off, and Jason goes, I will become this ranger. And becomes the second Gold Zeo Ranger and the second Ranger of the series, that wears the gold standard. He would wielding the gold power staff, and would basically work with the Rangers several different times. But we'll come to realize, at first he would not, but I've come to realize Rocky would feel like he's being left out and replaced by the Rangers he replaced. Like, there's an old friendship. Like, you know, when you get jealous, like two old friends get back together and they have the inside jokes and stuff like that. Kind of like that. Rocky has this issue more times throughout the series, and even also with Turbo, the movie, when he's replaced by Justin. Now, if you were replaced by a really smart middle schooler, I would be too. So he feels down on his dumps, but Jason reassures him that not only are you a valued team member, but he's also Jason's friend. So that's good there. However, Tommy would really become a major issue for Prince Gasket and the like, and would decide, hey, I have an idea. Let's kidnap Tommy, turn him evil, brainwash him to think he's the true king of the Machine Empire, and then we'll trick him to killing all the Rangers because they're fighting our forces. It was actually a really brilliant strategy, and they were actually able to trick Jason into coming to try and save Tommy. He teleported into an arena where Tommy was waiting on him. He's like, "Oh, I'm coming to save you." And then Gaspard goes, "He's come to kill you, my lord. He's like he destroyed my father." And so Tommy starts fighting him, beating the crap out of Jason. Not because they're not equals, but because Jason is trying to bring back his memory and doesn't want to hurt him. Like, Jason's barely able to defend himself, but like doesn't attack back. Because he doesn't want to hurt him in the process. He's his friend. Basically, when they fail to stop him in combat, Jason and the other Zeo Rangers power down, show their faces, and convince Tommy they were his friends. They succeed, which is, you know, it's a good episode. It's like, oh, the power of friendship conquers all. But Prince Gasket didn't like that idea. And the Rangers were able to successfully escape home, and they all apologize and go, "It wasn't your fault, Tommy." And they go, "Jason, it wasn't for you. I almost destroyed you, but we're good friends." Now, Jason would be surprised when Billy would appear as an old man, aging rapidly due to a defect from his regenerator. Yes, a regenerator. Yes, Billy is basically slowly aging at an accelerated rate that is not able to be fixed on Earth. So basically, right there, Jason first meets the alien rangers of Aquatar for the first time. And they appear and try to help Billy, but they say, "We can't help you here. We don't have the technology here." So they go to Billy and go, "We need to take you back to receive treatments." And he agrees. And standing alone, he hoped that the alien rangers could help Billy as he left for things and gave him the salute, like, "I'll miss you, buddy." They're able to restore Billy there, and basically says Billy's not going to come back because he's fallen in love. Very quickly, apparently. And they basically, all of them stay without going, "Actually, we're going to miss you, buddy. See you on." Basically, right there, Billy's leaving the show. Now, Jason and the other Rangers would come to realize later on that they're also having troubles with some health difficulties. Not with regenerators and old age, but the fact that the powers that Jason is borrowing are weakening him physically and his life force as well. And his powers are going away. Now, why this is because the suit is not meant for humans, but made for Triforians, physiologically. So he's basically going, "Oh crap, well, I'm still a ranger, I still have to help people," and he tries to run from Cogs as being defeated. His powers are deteriorating as he wears himself out. However, he is saved, not by the Rangers from Mondo in his Machine Empire, but instead by two others, Zed and Rita, who basically don't want to kill the Ranger. They don't want the Machine Empire to kill the Ranger. They want to do it. And so it becomes a backyard brawl, essentially, and Jason is going, I'm going to take time to escape, and flees. He goes to Juice Bar, not in Ranger form, but does so, collapsing from exhaustion, and was taken back to the power chamber where he's analyzed, and they quickly realize, dude, you're dying. Trey, you need to return back to normal. I know it's only been like a few episodes, but you need to get back to normal, dude. And they do so. And if he doesn't go back to normal soon, he's going to lose his ability to do so, and they'll be lost forever, and Jason will die. Oh well. So basically, they take the Rangers take Jason to the site where the three tribes could reunite from a beam shot from Earth, bounced off the planet Quartar, Triforia, and then back to Earth in a triangle pyramid type thing. Oh, who knew? And Jason held up his staff, and the power is actually reclaimed, and Jason is saved. Jason is basically sad later that he has to give us powers. He felt great to be a Ranger again. Like, this guy has been giving up his Ranger's powers so much. But he's confronted by Tommy after contemplating on his own and basically realized, like, you know what, he did his job. And he kind of walks in the sunset with another girl, Emily, who was met earlier in the series with Jason. She basically was a new girl that he had met. She had gotten to the wrong crowd. She was a new kid to the town. And he quickly realizes, hey, you don't need to be part of that biker gang to be yourself. I like you the way you are. And she goes, okay. And they kind of like a love interest right there. And they walk off in the sunset, holding hands, and leaving the Power Rangers once more. And that's the end of the Gold Ranger. Jason would later be seen on in several different times, but that's going on there, and that's another story. Now, that is the Gold Ranger as a whole. I hope you guys liked that. Now, let's look at his weaponry. And this is kind of hard to say besides the staff and the Zord. Now, Trey would take up the mantle of the Gold Ranger and would help the Rangers basically finish off King Mundo once and for all. Now, he would appear 2 years later in Power Rangers in Space in the Galactic Invasion of Evil itself, as the Alliance of Evil attacks the galaxy. And they attack the galaxy of Vika, or the Vika galaxy. Rita, Zed, and Goldar are the ones assaulting the planet that he is defending, and he fights against them, but it's a very difficult battle, just like you see with other Rangers all throughout the universe, and he is battling several monsters at once. He's eventually captured and basically held down while they're about to finish the blow. Essentially, a clip door appears in the sky, announcing the Dark Spectre is dead, killed by a planet-killing weapon, and essentially Shaman is now the Queen of Evil. Yay! Kind of like, they don't kill him right then and there, they kind of contemplate what they want to do, and the following day, a golden energy wave that is basically the last remnants of Zordon pass through the planet, and most of the villains, with the exception of Rita and Zed, are turned to dust. Rita and Zed are turned human, or humanoid in truth, because Rita is not human, and Zed is something. We don't really know. But we know they both turn looking human, and the Gold Ranger watches them warily and a little confused as they're basically just dancing away happily, as though they had no cares in the world. Now, there was at a little event that was supposed to be getting the Power Ranger Gold Ranger going to begin his own series, and it was talking about at least 30 episodes. It was supposed to be a spin-off, but it never came to. Apparently people like Jason more than they like Trey. But hey, whatever. Now, you would see Trey once more being chronicalized in the Tommy Oliver episode, where basically the Rangers see flashbacks to all the other Rangers and the nostalgia going on there. Now, you would also see him again in Super Mega Force, and also as well as the legendary Last Battle, but you never see him take off his helmet, and it's just that guy, and then essentially returns back. Now, in the Shattered Grid, you would see Trey show up again and do battle against the forces of evil, this one in the name of Lord Draken, and defeat them. Now, why do I think it's just Trey on the helmet and not Jason? There's a lot there. too many Jasons going around at the same time. Too many Tommies. Just better give Trey his time, but that's basically it. Now, for weapons that the Gold Ranger has, he has the Zord Pyramidus. It is basically, if you've ever seen Stargate, it is a floating pyramid in space. It is his Zord, it is his spaceship, it is his everything. And it can combine with the Zeo Megazords into Zeo Ultra Zord. He also has his Golden Power Staff, which can turn from staff to spear to blunt instrument to stabbing implement. Now, I just thought of that right off the cuff, so congratulate me, yay me. Essentially, that would be it from there on out. And he would have a line when he used his thing, "Gold, it's time for a gold rush." Yeah, they could have had a better line than that, but hey, when you look that good, what can I say? Now, that's the end of this episode for this week. Thank you very much for guys for listening and watching. If there's any questions all you guys have, feel free to make comments in the comment section below. Like and subscribe. And let me know, what's your favorite? Did you like the Gold Ranger? I actually liked him a lot. I know somebody a couple episodes back said they really liked the Gold Ranger. And I was like, yo, I'm going to make a video on that. So I listen. I do read your comments. I like to keep it up in the... his out. Yeah, we're never saying that again. And so let me know what you guys think. And I think we're going to do a villain next week. What villain do you guys want me to talk about? See you guys soon, and have a good one.